Hello, I'm Mr. Todd.
And I'm Mini Todd.
And we are here to review our verse of the day. Now usually we are in the same room at the same time when we get together to learn our verse.
We are still together, but we needed to get some help from the internet and this video to make it happen. I am really excited by this opportunity.
I am too. Even though it's a little different, I have every confidence that we are going to be able to learn today's verse together. And today's verse comes from Proverbs chapter 14, verse 21, and it says,
It's wrong to hate others, but God blesses everyone who is kind to the poor.
Before we look at our verse in detail, let's test your Bible knowledge. Mini Todd has prepared some questions for us.
That's right. First, do we find the book of Proverbs in the Old Testament or in the New Testament? How many of you say Old Testament? Okay, and how many of you say the New Testament?
And how many of you aren't sure? I mean, it's okay if you're not sure. We are here to learn, and that's why we ask.
And the answer is the Old Testament.
That's right. The book of Proverbs can be found in the Old Testament. Do you have another question for us?
I do. Proverbs is a collection of very wise sayings that were written down by one of the kings of Israel. Do you know which king that was? Oh, I heard somebody say King David. Oh, I think I heard somebody say King Saul. You are so close. Here's a hint. This king was known for being the wisest man that ever lived. Ha! That's right. It was King Solomon.
All right, very good, everyone. Nicely done. Now, let's learn our verse. Now, a lot of the Proverbs are written with two phrases, where the first part says one thing, and then the second part says the exact opposite to help us understand what Solomon is really trying to say. And that's how our verse of the day is written. It starts out by saying, it's wrong to hate others.
I can agree with that.
I think we all can, especially as we remember the words of Jesus when he said, love your neighbor as yourself. Now, who is our neighbor?
Everybody else.
Exactly, Mini Todd. We can agree that it's bad to hate others. Now, the verse goes on to say, God blesses everyone who is kind to the poor. Now, do we know what blesses means? That's one of those words that we don't really use every day. Any ideas?
I've got it. When God blesses us, we receive a gift or a special favor from God. He shows us His mercy.
Thanks, Mini Todd. You are 2 for 2 today coming up with the right answers. So the verse says God has something special for everyone who is kind to the poor. But that brings me to my last question. Who are the poor? Who could that be?
Well, if you don't have a lot of money, it means you are poor.
That is correct. When we talk about someone being poor, we're usually talking about money. So how can we be kind to the poor?
By helping them and giving them something that they need.
Precisely. It could be some food, or maybe a coat or a jacket, or maybe even some money. Now, what's interesting is that the word poor can be used when a person is lacking anything and not just money. See, if I take off my glasses, I can't see very well. Wait a minute. Where did everybody go? Oh, there you are. Okay, see, a lot of people would say, I have poor eyesight. Now, if you were to do something foolish and get in trouble for it, your mom or your dad or your teacher might say you exercised poor judgment in making that decision. Now, with everything that's going on in our world right now, there are a lot of people who are sad and scared and worried. These people are what I would call poor in joy. They don't know God and they don't know His promises to always be with them and protect them and keep them safe. So they can only see those problems that are around them. So the question is, how can we be kind to them?
We could send them a card to cheer them up.
That is a great idea. Now, are there any others?
Maybe call them on the phone, or maybe just give them a friendly wave.
Those are some more good ideas. See, what we do doesn't really matter as long as we're able to show them God's love and bring them some of the joy that they are missing. So, That's a little bit about today's verse. Can you read it again for us, Mini Todd?
I sure can. Proverbs 14:21. It's wrong to hate others, but God blesses everyone who is kind to the poor. Aren't you forgetting something, Mr. Todd?
What's that?
We talked about the verse, but we still need to do the verse.
You're right, and we can't do that sitting down. We need everybody up on their feet.
You heard, Mr. Todd. Everybody needs to stand up so we can do this together. Come on, up, up, up.
Okay, our verse of the day starts like this. So it's Proverbs 14:21. We're going to do it just like that. Proverbs 14:21. It's wrong. And we want to be very emphatic because we know it's a bad thing to do. It's wrong to hate others. And who are the others? Well, we learned that they're everybody around us. So we're just going to point around at everybody else. Okay? Don't forget about the people behind you. All right, so here we go. Let's do that much again. It's Proverbs 14:21. It's wrong to hate others. All right, good job. Let's go ahead and move on to the second part. It says, but God blesses. And what we're going to do is we're going to get our two hands on our fists because we're thinking about all of these blessings that God sends down from heaven, and God blesses. You got that? So it's God blesses everyone who is kind. And kind is a hard word to come up with an action for. Okay, because I think we all know what kindness looks like. We know when we're being kind, but it's hard to put that into emotion. So we're going to use a sign language sign for kindness. So what you need to do is take both of your hands and put your thumbs up, put them like this, and you put them over your heart, and then it's bring your left hand around your right hand like that, and that's kindness. All right, so let's try that much of it. So it's, but God blesses everyone who is kind to the poor. All right, let's do that much more again, okay? So it's, but God blesses everyone who is kind to the poor. All right, good job. You got today's verse. Okay, now let's go ahead and put it all together. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Proverbs 14:21. It's wrong to hate others, but God blesses everyone who is kind to the poor. Hey, that was a great job, everybody.
I really think they should do it one more time, Mr. Todd.
Oh, you're right, Mini Todd. We do need to do it one more time. And here's our countdown in 3, 2, 1. Proverbs 14:21. It's wrong to hate others, but God blesses everyone who is kind to the poor. All right, great job, everybody. It was a lot of fun doing today's verse of the day with you. Have a great day.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time.